Okay, so let's figure out how we actually get a login to this TrackStar tool. Um, to do that, you want to create an account and start making tracks. So you fill in the first, last name, email address, postal code, country, and password, and then hit register. So I had you guys on pause for at least 60 seconds while I waited for the TrackStar page to come to this, and then I hit, and it was, the wheels were spinning, it was processing my request, it was transferring data, blah blah blah, but it looked like it wasn't going to work. And then it says here that okay, then I hit register again, and then it forced it to come to this. So you might have to do that too if you find that it's just spinning forever and not going anywhere. So it says please click log in to make or edit a track at the top of this page, or I can probably click it right here. Okay, email and password. Okay, so now I can make a new track. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just take you through the process of quickly making a new track. You can click make a new track. You give that track a title. Notice the message up here that you need to save your track within an hour of opening up this page. You can save and return to your page repeatedly, just save often. So let's give this track a title. I'm going to quickly make a track without a plan, honestly, and you guys do want to take more time to make yours. But I'm going to call mine Foods of Central America. And then you want to enter a description so that if other teachers wanted to use this track, what is it about this track that is beneficial in terms of learning? What would students learn from it? How do you think it could be used? What is its purpose? So those would be some appropriate things to put in there. So I inputted a little bit of information. This track provides an overview of some famous Central American foods, along with recipes and cultural insights. This track is appropriate for Spanish 1 classes. And then you can give some keywords so that when people are searching in TrackStar, they could possibly find this track. So I gave it some keywords. I put in some Central American country names. I put in Central America, Spanish, culture, and food. When you get to this type, I think resource list should be sufficient. You are welcome to try one of these other options. Don't do the demo, but I think resource list is the right one to make a track such as the one I have shown you already. And I think it will provide what we need. It says that they are sometimes not annotated, but you're going to want to annotate yours. Then you can input the the subject area. Grade level. And then a keep until button. You leave it blank to keep it available indefinitely. And then if you want to secure your track with a password, put that in here, but I suggest that you don't do that. And then you can click next. Alright, and then that gives us that gets us to the place where we actually construct the track. Okay, so this TrackStar planning sheet will really come in handy. You will have finished this before, you will want to have finished this before you actually get to this step. So I suggest that maybe even before you bother going into TrackStar, that you get that TrackStar planning sheet done so that this step is easy. Now, I'm being a bad student and I'm just inputting websites that I find without having my planning sheet done. You don't want to do this, but since I'm just trying to show you how to use the tool, I'm going to put this website in. I'm going to call it the Golden Plantain Awards, Best of Central American Food. You want to paste that URL in. Okay, so I typed in, I inputted the URL, and then I typed in an annotation which came in the form of a question and then a sort of a command. The question is, which of the foods featured here are most like the food you like to eat? And which foods are least like your favorite foods? And then sort of a command, choose a food to prepare for the November Culture Fair. In subsequent sites, I will probably put links to recipe websites. Okay, so I want to give them a link to a pupusa recipe. And again, this is not the way you should do it. You do want to make sure you have filled out this thing first. But here's a fabulous looking pupusa recipe. So this is pupusas de queso, cheese stuffed tortillas. Okay. Recipe for pupusas de queso. Okay, so I put in the URL and then I wrote down some instructions for them to write down the recipe, doubling the quantities. Be prepared to tell us the recipe in Spanish. I'm going to do one more website called Dressing the Part. I found a site with information about culture of El Salvador, and I'm going to tell the students to draw a picture of an outfit for male and a female, with the idea that when they, when they eventually cook food for the culture fair that takes place at the school, that they also have to dress up. And obviously, this is not a well-developed TrackStar, but you get the idea. I just want you to see how you kind of input things. Notice how there's features over here, and I notice I hover over this and it doesn't have a mouse over feature. Well, it tells us what this is, but I bet this up arrow means that if I click it, then site number 2 will become site number 1. So let's see if the pupusas go up to the number 1 spot. And indeed they did. So I'm going to put the pupusas down where they were because I like that better. So you can move things around. You can delete with this. This, I'm not sure what it is, and I don't want to punch. It would be nice if it would tell us what it is. You can play with it. It's probably nothing that will kill that particular item, but interestingly, when I moved that, oh, never mind. Okay, oh, here it is. It tells you right here, add a link from your track pack. So that's another feature that I'm not going to go into. You want to make sure your links start with http: or https: and just read these tips on the left. So scroll all the way to the bottom, and I'm going to hit save now. Okay, this is important. It tells us what the track number is. Track number 444946, Foods of Central America. So I'm going to go back to Manage Tracks, and I'm going to go, oh, it's awaiting review. I'm going to go ahead and open it, and this should be the link to my track now, right here. So I think it has its own unique link. I mean, for sure you want to give me that track number, but I'm going to view it in frames now to see what it is that I just made. Okay, so here we have, you see all that information I typed in, the Golden Plantain Awards, Best of Central American Food, the site location, and then the question, which of the foods featured here are most like the food you eat? And then I can go down to recipe for pupusas de queso. Something I'm curious about, because I know when I was looking at the example in the previous video that when I would click on things it would take us out of the TrackStar program. So I'm going to click this. Okay, see how it keeps me in TrackStar? There was something that the person that designed those example tracks did to make it so that you are out of the TrackStar. You want to try to keep most students probably inside of it because it keeps them grounded in what you've created. So obviously I didn't turn off that functionality. I think by default clicking on things inside of these links will keep the student inside of TrackStar. So like if I go to recipes and I want to go check out something else, I want to go look at salad, I think you stay in TrackStar so you can't get that lost. So I'm not sure what was clicked to change it in the example, but something was. So that takes us to the end of this little video on how you use TrackStar and how you set it up. Let me know if you need any help. It's pretty straightforward and sort of clean cut little program. All right, thanks.